Luis, do you want to get it out of the way first? What happened with Peru?
No, it's all forgiven. I mean, listen, Australia 1,000,000% deserved to win that game. I'm just a bitter Peruvian. And honestly, I commend Australia for what they've done and make it this far. There's no way I had you getting out of the group, and you did it. And you lost 2-1 to Lionel Messi in Argentina. So amazing, amazing stuff.
Josh,
thank you so much.
Of ESPN Australia's soccer podcast, The National Curriculum. It's great to have you here with us. You've got a big smile on your face, and you should, because of what we've seen and the spirit that we saw from Australia. But you must be gutted, mate.
I am gutted. My heart's still pumping. I'm hopped up on adrenaline and caffeine. It's 8:19 a.m. here on the Eastern Seaboard in Australia, and at full time, everybody applauded. Everybody applauded. There was no groans. There was no despair. There was no disappointment. It was just gratitude for how this team has performed. They've played their hearts out. They've competed with the best player in football history. And, you know, we go out with our heads held high.
So there's some footage, I believe our producer Sam gave us regarding what was going on in Australia. Because here we are thinking, Josh, you know, Australia, obviously an Aussie rules country, a cricket country, a rugby country, football country, I'm sure, soccer country, I'm sure it's growing. But then we saw this footage. Everybody, you need to check this out from Melbourne, I believe, pre-game as well. And take in mind to what Josh just said, it was pretty early in the morning as well. Check this video out.
These are great scenes. Great scenes, right, Luis?
Yes, so good. I mean, here we are thinking, wait, is that Buenos Aires? Is that Sao Paulo? Like, no, it's Melbourne, Australia. You know what's crazy is that, like, to your point, now that the game's over, you all have to go back to work and whatever. Like, I'm sure it's going to be crazy. But my question was, Josh, like, how has this energy from the World Cup grown in Australia? Have you seen a significant level of energy, I guess, throughout the tournament?
Yeah, the turning point was the Tunisia game. The France game went pretty much as we expected it to go, you know, outclassed by a better team and beaten handily. And it could have been more, in all honesty, against France. Against Tunisia, a nice prime time, 9 p.m. kickoff in Australia for once. Everyone tuned in and they won. And then it's just built from there. Australia's got football fever. Every boat supply store around the country is sold out of emergency flares. You know, it's just been crazy. I was at Fed Square where those videos are filmed. For the Denmark game, you know, 2 a.m. kickoff, and it was going bananas. There were 7,000 people packed in. They had to open up Amy Park, the main football stadium in Melbourne, just to avoid the crowd crush at Federation Square. And they packed out 2 wings of Amy Park for a 6 a.m. kickoff this morning. You know, 12, 13, 14,000 people. It's just incredible. For football in Australia, which is a 3rd or 4th tier sport a lot of the time, this is a big, big moment.
Josh, I actually don't know how old you are, so forgive me. And I'm not going to ask you to say it. Don't worry about that. But I just want to know how this compares to 2006. I know there was a lot more controversy against Italy, and obviously Italy went on to win the World Cup that year. Controversial penalty in that game. This time, not so much controversy, but a very late chance there that might have sent the match into extra time. How would you compare the two?
Well, 2006, I mean, that was what made me a football fan. That's what converted me, I suppose. I played cricket growing up, and then in 2006, you know, that was the moment that I was a football fan for life. And I'm hoping that this run that Australia's been on this time around can be that for a new generation, because we haven't made the round of 16 in 16 years. It's been a long time between drinks. You know, Italy, there was a lot of anger afterwards about the Grosso penalty. It actually crossed my mind, you know, Australia's left back running through on goal, you know, midway through the first half and getting a tiny little shove in the back. He was a bit too honest. You know, Fabio Grosso would have gone down in that situation and tried to win a spot kick. And then later, you know, as his mates, the same player almost scored the greatest goal in Australian football history by taking on the entire Argentina team, but he just couldn't get it done at the last second. But yeah, I think this group, a lot less was expected from them, because this is not the golden generation of Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell, the emergence of Tim Cahill in that tournament, Premier League quality players, the best Australia's ever produced. This is a team that was talked about as maybe our worst World Cup team ever, and boy, have they proved everybody wrong in that respect with their performances throughout this World Cup. Our striker plays in the second division in Japan. 2 of our 3 goal scorers play in the A-League locally in the domestic competition. So on paper, we were nowhere near this, and they've played out of their skins.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.